So white piece of paper today, a pencil, a black marker if you have it, or black crayon, okay, and your crown box. You should all have a crown box at home, which we gave you at the beginning of the school year. So get those out. You're gonna definitely need your warm colors. Remember, yellow, orange, and red. And a couple cool colors, so purple and green for the husk. We might even use some brown and black. And I'm going to show you. So there's wild corn. It's called flint corn, and it's got some kernels on the corn that might be darker or have a little bit of purple in them, okay? So we're going to start with our paper in front of us, portrait style. Remember, long ways, not side to side. We want it in front of us, portrait style, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna draw the shape, the overall body of the fruit of the corn. So we're gonna start, we wanna make this corn really big, so it's gonna fill up our paper. So we're gonna start the top of the corn. The top of the corn is a lot smaller, and then the body gets bigger, okay? So curving on the top, bringing it down and curving the bottom. Ta-da! So there's our overall corn shape. Then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna draw the husks. The husks of the corn are what are green. And we are going to start at the bottom of your corn. And we're going to start somewhere in the middle of the bottom of your corn and curve up to make it look kind of leafy, and curve it down. You see that? That's an organic shape, so it's curved on top. Then we're going to come over on this side of the corn. Bring it up, curve it down. Ta-da! And then you can have a little maybe square or rectangle shape here at the bottom. That's what would connect to the plant. Okay? So you guys, if you used a pencil, you can come back and erase that little line, because we wouldn't see that. The whole green husk of the corn would cover the corn body. So we erase that part. Then if we wanted to, we could draw some other lines that curve in the husks. Now, I showed you guys the artist Kandinsky because I thought it would be fun for us to do some concentric circles inside the kernels of the corn. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our pencil or black crayon, and you guys, we're going to draw, what kind of line is that? Is it vertical up and down, or is it horizontal side to side? You're right, it's horizontal side to side. So we're going to do several of those lines with a good amount of space between each one, not too much space. Then, you guys, we're going to do vertical lines up and down in the corn. These are going to represent the little kernels that you would see on the corn, okay? So now that we have drawn it with pencil, you guys, this gives you an opportunity to outline it with black marker or black crayon, whatever you have on hand. That way it will really stand out. Because then we're going to go back in and we're going to use those crayons and color it in super nicely. I might even outline the corn kernels. Okay. So make sure you have those crowns ready after you're done outlining. So once you're done outlining, your next step is going to be to get those crowns ready. I would start with our yellow first. You could do yellow all over the corn kernels first. Okay, so let's start with yellow. So notice I am trying my best not to get it outside the line, even though we might even want to cut this out after. Okay, so if you do get outside the lines, it's okay. Maybe you go ahead and just cut it out. So I accidentally got it outside the line, so I will cut it out. Okay, coloring that in, trying to get rid of most of the white on the corn. Now let's look at a picture of that flint corn, wild corn that has some dark areas, kernels on them. Okay, so what we could do, we could pick a couple here and there. We could get a dark brown if we wanted to, and we can kind of circle the outside edges. So do a circle, like when we looked at the artist Candice, he does circular concentric circles. So some of my kernels could have brown outside edges in a circle. I could even come in with a little bit of purple if I wanted to. Circle around. Okay. I might even have some areas be really orange around the edges. Remember doing a circle inside some of those squares. Yeah. Good job. So while you guys are working quietly on these squares, I'm going to play some traditional Native American music for you guys while you're working. So keep working on those kernels, adding circles in. Remember, some areas are darker, can be darker. Maybe even bringing in a little black. Because like that flint corn, it's super dark in some of those kernels there. Okay. All right, so I would add a couple more. So while you guys are working, we're gonna start the music, finish up your kernels, and then we'll move on to our next area of our corn. All right, you guys, welcome back. You guys should have your fruit of your corn fully colorful with the colors that we talked about. Look at all the circles. Okay, so in a circular motion, inside all of those squares, you should have done circles that repeat themselves over and over and over again to create some of those concentric circles. Okay, some dark. Okay, some you left mostly orange and some yellow inside. All right, so the next step for us was to get our green out and color our husk of our corn. Remember we talked about what the Native Americans used the husks for. Remember they could take them off the corn, tear them off, and they could make shoes. They would maybe sometimes lay down the husks and use it as bedding. So when you're coloring with your green crayon, remember, inside the lines, the harder you press down with your crayon, the darker the color will be. And then picking up the pressure, and the lighter it will be. Okay. And you come over here on the other side and do the same thing. I like to press down hard next to the edges of the husk, and then kind of lift up my pressure on my crayon and blend it in to the center. So we have more value, lightness and darkness of a color. I also want my little stem here to be green, square. So, voila. At this time, if you wanted to, like I said, you could cut it out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut mine out just because I have some areas that I accidentally colored. I'm going to cut this out. You guys always remember, we've been working on this to where you cut away from yourself. Putting your thumb in the big circle and your other fingers in the banana shape. And cutting away along the outside edges of the corn husk first. Using your other hand to help turn the paper as you cut, opening and closing along that outside line. Cut that off and put it aside. Turn it again. Open, close, open, close. Turning it with your opposite hand. Open, close. So this corn, once we get it all cut out, you guys could have it on your fridge. You could put it in your room and hang it up somewhere. Maybe it could be something that really cheers people up as they walk by your house when they're walking down your neighborhood, and you have it on your front door. Because I know this year Thanksgiving looks a little bit different, doesn't it? We might not be able to be with our whole family this year, which that's okay. Sometimes things change. Okay. You've got your beautiful corn on the cob. I might go back and color this one. And I might put them on my fridge, or I could put them on my front door at home and really cheer up somebody. Because who doesn't love colorful corn? Especially during this time of year, if you celebrate Thanksgiving with your family. Corn's a common thing you might see. It's one of the main dishes usually at Thanksgiving too, is maybe creamed corn. Yeah. So I hope you guys had fun with this, and I will see you all next time.